I'm absolutely happy to be with you over here. It's really a great pleasure also having so many people to see from the stage. And just to give you a quick background, I've been in the internet industry for about 14 years right now. And I have started with the media industry, like internet portals. Then I moved to more digital world, going between media, internet media and television. And then I realized that, it's all fun, but, e-commerce is really big time. And I joined the Allegro group, which is right now one of the biggest e-commerce players of Central and Eastern Europe. And I have learned extensively for the past 2.5 years on how internet and e-commerce look like. And I would like to share with you the main thoughts about e-commerce, what it is all about and what are the most important trends and how it's going to change our lives. And as you know, e-commerce is about something very personal. All of us do different actions on the internet and in real life. We do trade, we do buy, and it's all about how we feel about it. And it's a personal experience, so to tailor this presentation in the right way, I would be extremely happy to also get some feedback from you. So how about information and your feedback? How many of you are from e-commerce industry? Raise your hands. Just more or less, I would say it's 10%. How many of you are from content or editorial industries? Very small, it's even less. How many of you are from social media? Also not so much. And how many are you from advertising industry? Much better. So, one of the main things is e-commerce is all about the real life happening online. What I would like to show you, and the assumption of this presentation is that there is no e-commerce companies in a couple of years down the road. Each company will be an e-commerce company. Maybe this is big, but you will see that this is becoming a reality. When you look into the strategies of all of the most important businesses, beginning with Google, Facebook, also Yahoo, and many other startups, e-commerce is one of the key strategies, elements in their strategies. So I would like to bring you through e-commerce business models at the very beginning to give you some couple of background, and then discuss the top 5 trends which are happening, and hopefully have some conclusions. So let's start with the business models. What is an important part of any type of transaction? A transaction which is basically two different parties having an agreement and one party sells something to another. It doesn't start with a transaction. It's a long process. It starts with awareness. Let's have an example. There is a great plasma 3D television set. You don't know that there is something like this 3D television set. You probably, on some party or some meeting or family meeting, you hear that there is something new like 3D plasma television sets. Then, but it's not for me, come on, 3D is something weird and, I don't need it at all. My black and white television was enough for me for many years, so why do I need 3D? But, over the time you realize that more and more people are talking about this television set. And then you realize that, it's becoming a trend, and this is why we are talking about the trends. The trend is really important when more people are talking about it, and then even more people are executing it. So you're getting to the interest phase. And in the interest phase, you say, okay, so maybe it is for me, maybe there is something in it, I want to double check it. So you go to the shop, or you go online, doesn't really matter, and you do the research. You're asking your friends, what do you think about it? You're asking those who have already experienced it, what do you think about it? You're gathering feedback. And after you gather the amount of feedback you believe it is enough, You start to make a decision. And then this is the most important moment and the most fascinating moment. Humans are really weird. Once they make a decision, they want it now. It's not like they're going to wait. I made the decision, I want this TV set, I want it now, I want it today, because there is a big show tonight. So it is extremely important to understand that this decision-making process is a long one. You go for an action, you want it now, and of course you have some decision criteria. But of course, you have to also get rid of your old television set, because you don't want to have 5 television sets at your house. If it is a big house, maybe yes, but if it's a flat in a block, probably it's not a best situation. So you also need to somehow find a way to get rid of those flats, of this television set. So there is also a resale process. So all of those things are happening, all of those phases are happening, and sometimes we are not even aware that those are happening. And let's look into 3 most important consumer drivers that bring to a transaction. Number 1, it is price. And it is really one of the most important elements. The price is relevant, but it is not only the price of an item, it's all about the total cost of your decision. So if you are buying in a traditional shop, you usually don't even count how much does it cost you, to get to your car, burn some fuel, and bring this television set to your home. But when you are purchasing online, you do care about your delivery cost. So those are the things which are important. So the total cost really matters. But internet has opened so many possibilities that you can actually search for many different televisions. You can really research it deeply. So it's all about selection, because when you go to one brand, you can see that it has these features, but then you go to another brand, it has other features, and sometimes price is not the most important element, because you are more interested in specific features. If you are buying a dress, it's not about the price only, it's about how it fits to another part of your clothes. And convenience, the third part. You need to have superb product presentation on your website, so you are really interested. If there is like a small text somewhere on the bottom of the page, you wouldn't even see it. So it has to be a really great product presentation. You have to have different shopping options. Maybe it is like this day delivery, next day delivery. It is all about convenience, and also it's about payment options. Sometimes you want to have it, you want to have it on installment base. Sometimes you can afford to pay it with cash. Sometimes you feel it that the credit card, this credit card is not relevant, so maybe you choose another one, etc., etc. So all those things do really matter, and I will talk about them in a minute. So when we go to the business models, there are many different business models across the market, and let's look at the top business models you can really quantify and discuss. The internet retail business model, which is basically a merchant which is owning the stock and selling it to consumers. And there are intermediary platforms where those platforms are facilitating buyers and sellers. It is like a marketplace platform. And also there are classified platforms. The difference is that one platform is allowing you to make a transaction online and finish it online. On the classified, it's usually you make a product presentation online and you exchange maybe communication via the net, but then you want to see it. You would probably buy a car online. You want to feel it. You want to see it. You want to trust the seller. All those things really matter. And also there are tools of like lead generation tools that bring you to this e-commerce space. All of those things are important, but the one important part of the infrastructure, summarizing it all, is also the payment option. Without convenient payments, simply e-commerce was not working. Now it has changed. So those are a couple of examples. I mean, you probably are all aware of it. but the retail options, the marketplace options, the classified options, the comparison shopping options, all of those business models are there. And now going to the trends, let's see what is the most important right now. So I started this presentation with the claim that in a couple of years down the road there will be no e-commerce like we know it today, because every company will be an e-commerce company. The reason for this is very simple. When you look at the human nature, at the very beginning, humans were extremely local, and humans were always thinking in a linear way. Now, internet communication changed it completely, once and forever. The world is global. It doesn't really make a difference when you search the web where it is. You can find things which are happening in different continents like in a second. And it's no longer linear. With Twitter, Facebook, even in the browser with multiple windows, it's all the time multitasking things. So you got a lot of different inspiration coming from different sides. And if you are a business, whatever type of business, you need to rethink the basics. Because if you don't do this, you will see that the competition is not only coming from your neighborhood, but it's coming from a different city or from a different country. So you need to be absolutely sure that your company, whatever it is doing, even if you are a private individual having some kind of job, for example, you are making some hand job, some handmade goods, even this requires this kind of rethinking of your basics. So first of all, you need to think, what is my unique selling proposition? What is the product I'm actually selling? What is my catalog? What is the pricing? How is it comparable to the other ones? How am I effective in this? If you are selling whatever product, and then you realize that any other company can ship it from China and have it half of the price, you're done because of the internet. Because consumers have access to this in a completely different moment. So you are losing perspective if you are not tracing the basics. Now, who is my competitor? What is my leverage on suppliers? Should I compete alone or should I partner with somebody else? How can I make sure that if I even do that shopping and selling the great way, I'm not beating up by any other competitor with the scale? So when it comes to the selection, you need to be very sure where in this value chain you are, whatever type of business you're doing. So you need to rethink this. It's one of the biggest trends. All of the companies worldwide are doing this. And most important, how am I efficient? You need to measure everything. There was a great presentation today morning on the big data. Absolutely, you need to measure every piece of information which is flowing to the system. It is all about conversion. It is all about engagement of your consumers, and it is all about how they will be coming back to you. It's not about making just one transaction. Now the second trend which is happening is the social integration. Of course, the social media you know all about, but I would like to give it a little bit different perspective as to what is social integration. Of course, when you're doing e-commerce business, which is your company is offering any type of product or goods to different companies or to consumers, you need to have in mind that you need to bring the consumers to your platform, to your website. And you can use different tools. You can use comparison shopping, you can use Facebook, YouTube, Google+, Twitter, whatever type of social media, including one of the biggest e-commerce trends, which is visual discovery by Pinterest. Simply, this is about leading the consumers to your point of presence. By point of presence, I mean all of the different channels you have. You can have a website, you can have a branded page on Facebook or on Google+, you can have your consumer contact on Twitter. All of those things are the contact with you as a company, with you as a product provider. So you need to manage this lead generation. But then it's all about how to connect people and ideas and how it all fits together. It's all about the loyalty and all about having the things put together in such a way that they do not only do the transaction, they engage. So it's all about having from your consumers, from your customers, the real fans. Because when you are a fan of something, you will recommend this product to the other people. And the other way around. If you make a big mistake, you are completely lost. Because with social media not being taken care in an appropriate way, you can lose a lot of customers. So you need to be sure that it is the game not only on one transaction, it is the game of loyalty. And by saying gamification, it's all about this interaction. That it is not one-way transaction, I'm selling it to you. It's also how it's coming back. And I told you about measuring everything at the previous trend. Now, business intelligence integration is the key element to everything. You need to really gather all of the data and be able to put it back together. Just one very interesting example, it's from pharmacy business. I've been talking to one CEO of pharmacy business and asking him, what is your turnover? How are you benchmark versus your competition? And he says, my shops are having about 4 times average turnover of my competitor. No, you gotta be joking. And he says, no. So how do you do this? I measure everything. It is simple. I have 30,000 products in my product catalog. On the shelves in my shop, I can fit about 3,000 products at once. So I need to be sure which 3,000 products are relevant at a given point in time. It is different in winter, it is different in autumn, it is different in spring, it is different before Christmas, before Valentine's Day, it is different, in every case it's different. I need to be sure which product catalog is relevant at a given point in time. And now about the loyalty and measuring it. He said, the best reward you can get to your consumers is the unexpected reward. So we do a very simple thing. You go with your basket to the cash desk, you want to pay, and the lady does the following. Pick, pick, pick. Oh, you got a 20% discount. Wow, I am happy. Maybe you would like to buy another thing. This product is really good for you. Wow. Yes, I'm happy I get already 20% discount, so I can buy more. So the average basket size is getting bigger. But listen to this is even better. There is a loyalty card behind it. You give your loyalty card before you go through the cash register. And after a couple of purchases, they realize that there is this specific shampoo you are buying each time. And by the way, this is the thing you are basically going to this shop for. All the rest is just an addition. So they make sure that you get the best price on the market on this specific item. On this specific item. It can be even 50% below the cost. It doesn't matter. The consumer will come back to our shop because that's the best price they can get on the market for this specific item. And the average basket size will be much, much bigger, so you can have a lot of profit out of it. And this is about measuring. This is about business intelligence, which is live. This is about the conversion. So, when the customers enter the shop, you know all about this customer. You know about the habits, you know about the past, you know what products are being searched for. It's basically that simple. But when you try to execute it, it is not so simple. So you need to be absolutely sure that you are perfect at it. You are mastering it. Otherwise, your competitors will be better. And by having e-commerce, it's even simpler than in traditional shop. Everything can be measured, from traffic to the transaction. So you got a couple of examples on perfect approach to your consumers. ASOS with the shoes, them clothing. Customer care on Twitter. Video presentations on fashion websites, on Pinterest, visual discovery. All of those things are happening, and it is not about simply making this one transaction. It's all about having the entire experience. So let's go to the next trend, which is ranked by me number 3. There are 2 more, which are even bigger, I believe. But it's inspirational design. So it's not only about having your customer happy. It's also about really inspiring. It's like wowing the consumer. So operational is not enough. If something works, yeah, it's fine, but is it a competitive advantage? Rather not. It has to be beautiful. It has to be perfect. So when you look at the biggest trend makers on the market, it's all about eye-catching images, high resolution, beautiful, interactive videos, 3D presentations and augmented reality. And those are not things which are really just another trend. When you measure everything, you realize that a video presentation next to the product increases the conversion rate about 30 to 50%. Just a video clip. When the website is full of those video clips, your site is the best on the market at this point in time. And it's all about, we call it hyper-verticalization. I told you about the selection, about knowing what is your place on the market, what is the competition. You can do a lot of things. You can create a horizontal, big product catalog website, but you can do even a single-page web store on the Facebook, and through lead generation attract the consumers. You can do one category of verticals, which are perceived by consumers as a very specialized and knowing what it's all about shops. And it's all about the discover zones, which are like visual presentation of things, especially in the fashion industry. When we go into electronics, you can categorize all the television sets, audio, equipment, everything, by features. When it comes to fashion, it's not that easy. It's all about the visual part. And it's all about dynamic pricing. I told you about on this example. Different traffic sources will have different results, different conversion rates, different average basket size, and most important, different lifetime consumer value. It all depends on the engagement, it all depends on the product category. Of course, it's not easy to put just one number to show how it looks like, but in different categories it's different, so you need to measure it. But those loyalty programs and integration across different communication channels is really, really important. And it's all about getting the right inspiration, getting right to your target group. When you look at also one of the biggest trends on advertising market, which is real-time bidding, we realize that you need to manage your promotional campaigns in a completely different way. Recently I saw a case of Ford. Normally when you look at traditional advertising, you would see that, what is your target group? Now let's have a message for this target group. Let's put a great creative campaign and let's reach this target group with our product. Now, with all of the technology surrounding us, it's different. So what they have is they have like big number of cars, Mondeo, Fiesta, a couple of other more. So what they do is they are starting the campaign with all of the cars on Facebook, all of the cars on Google, all of the cars on Twitter, all of the cars on traditional portals, and then they measure. And they realize that on Facebook, the ones which have the biggest number of interest is this made. On Google, it's different. Across different channels, it's different. And then they know that for this traditional approach, they need to focus on this specific channel, on this specific make. And this is about efficiency. And this is about this dynamic pricing when you pull this back from the car, which you cannot buy actually online. I mean, you can, but normally people don't use it this way because the average price is too high, and you basically not buy a car every day. But this is how you can show your products and measure how your products perform across different channels. And look at the examples. I told you about this visual search. When you have testimonial videos, it's even boosting conversion much more. The lady is showing a shoe, and she says, look around it. What a great material it is made from. And by the way, I had a great party yesterday in those shoes, and I was able to pick up any boyfriend I would like to. And this increases the conversion rate drastically. Of course, it's all about infotainment, because people also love having some kind of fun. So it's between, traditional commerce reality and entertainment, because you like to be entertained. So the 3D virtual dressing room, so you can see how clothes are fitting next to each other, and you can, build your profile. You can put your size, etc., etc., and it's all happening. And right now there are many companies which are trying to build up those things. But this is not just another case. This is really serious, and this is really not so much costly, but bringing a lot of benefits. So the trend number 2, obviously everybody would say mobile. But why is it important? It's a new format of potential consumers. It's all about that. Some time ago, internet users have been, those freaks on universities. Then, from those freaks on the universities, it was the people who could afford dial-up connection. But right now, it's getting much and much more of a general public. Like, everybody will be an internet user in a moment. It's just a matter of really small number of years where it's going to be so publicly available, like even it is right now, that it's just another communication channel for everybody. Which means that by reaching mobile, you are reaching almost everybody. When you look to the countries like Kenya, you would think, some kind of Africa. In Kenya, mobile phones are the official payment platform. There is no cash needed at all in Kenya. Just by sending SMS messages, it's like transferring money from bank to bank. It's a deal between mobile phone operators and banks, and it just works. And it's all about the product, which needs to be on mobile really, really fitting well, because either it is simple on the small screen, or people will resign. And yesterday, I talked to one of our friends over here, and he said, we have a website. It is a traditional website on the mobile, and we changed the look and feel of this website to fit mobile. And day after, the transaction rate was 5 times up. Just the next day. Amazing. So you would say it's just another trend. No. If you do not execute this trend, it's not going to happen to you. You will say, yes, mobile is important, but it doesn't work for me. No, you have to really take care of this trend. The tablet browsing, yesterday we had a couple of examples how tablets are relevant. It's not exchanging computers, it's just we use it when we commute, and we use it in the evenings, we use it very often next to the other devices. But it's more mobile and it's much more easy to use. And location-based services. You know, with the GPS in every mobile device, you can see what's very near you, what products are relevant. And when we get to the point where, you remember this example with personalized shopping, you will see that carrying this personal history with you all the time, it's really great, both for the consumer and the merchants, especially when it is connected with payments. And it is all about this, how you can use the device you wouldn't even think of that you will have all the time with you. How many of you would agree to be all the time traced? Probably very little. But you are doing it every day, right now with your mobile phones. You love it, by the way. So you have to use this kind of trend to include it into your product, whatever type of business you are. And just to give you an example, also on what is the competition and what is not. What is your business model and what are the competing business models with you? Would you name Foursquare an e-commerce company? Probably not. You would say it's social media. Now, I can tell you that this is one of the best e-commerce applications because you take your phone out of your pocket, you check in wherever you are, and you see a great deals around you. It's all about e-commerce. It's all about discounts, it's all about deals, personalized to you. You wouldn't think of e-commerce company. And I can name a lot of other examples like this. You will see a business which doesn't look like it's e-commerce business, but in fact it is e-commerce business. Think for it for a moment. And how the product discovery right now looks like. It's completely different from what it used to be. So going to trends, I believe that the trend number one is really mobile payment. It's not going to happen this year, probably in this specific country, but it's really a great trend in all of the Western countries. And maybe it is better that they are experimenting in such a large scale because, you know, it's also a very costly investment to experiment. But I can tell you that those companies will get it right, will be like the infrastructure for the world. It's both technology innovation, those are both proximity payments, remote payments. It's also a cash killer. You know, I told you about Kenya, and it's not a joke. Just go and check online M-Pesa. If this happens, we will not have cash at all. Credit cards will be not needed as we think of them right now. Maybe they will exist, but just as another kind of parameters in our mobile app for payments. That is making a big difference. So consumer experience is beyond single transaction. It's all about this loyalty and how mobile devices and payments can use it. And electronic wallet. And business model disruption. Well, there have never been such a time like the time we have right now that so many different industries are fighting for the same. You know, banking industry has never been in a biggest threat than today. Because it can be disrupted by other technologies. Also, mobile phone operators, you know that SMS premium is one of the payment options. This is exactly the business model which is competing with the banking system right now worldwide. And on top of this, there is a huge number of entrepreneurs innovating with even more important part of it, which is the user interface. Who wins the user interface game on simplicity and will have infrastructure arranged in the proper way will win. So those are the examples. And what I would like to show you is I would like to show you a very quick video. I know it's, you probably know it, but just to give you inspiration.
Let's kick it. Hi, I'm Rob. And I'm John. We're software engineers at Google, and we're here in New York City today to tell you about an exciting new product called Google Wallet. A couple of years ago, we got to thinking. My Android phone has already replaced this, and this, and even this. So why the heck was I still carrying around this monstrosity? We went off and did some research, and we think we've come up with a better, safer way. Introducing Google Wallet, the app that makes your phone your wallet. Google Wallet holds offers, loyalty cards, credit cards, just like you have today in your regular wallet. And eventually also transit cards, boarding passes, tickets, and much more. We've worked with Citibank and MasterCard on the first credit cards. So if you have a Citi MasterCard, you can add a virtual version of it to your Google Wallet. If you don't have a Citi MasterCard, you can set up a Google prepaid card and fund it with any of your existing credit cards. You can tap and pay using Google Wallet in hundreds of thousands of places across the US, anywhere a MasterCard PayPass is accepted. During the tap, Google Wallet securely transmits your information using a technology called Near-Field Communication, or NFC for short. Google Wallet also makes saving simple. When you save or buy a Google offer, it's automatically synced to your wallet, and you can redeem it by tapping your phone or showing the barcode to the cashier as you check out. And in case you're wondering, you lock Google Wallet with a PIN, so it's more secure than a physical wallet. And that's just the beginning. We're constantly working to improve the wallet. Google Wallet. Tap, pay, and save.
Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, lady.
Yeah, and just another one, also very quick video from another global player.
Millions of people can now live, shop, and buy anytime, anywhere, anyway. Because they have PayPal. It's innovation you can use and share with friends today, no matter where you are. Innovation that finds exactly what you're looking for. It's putting advantages at your fingertips. And it's your money moving with you, listening to you, following your lead. It's arming you with the power of contribution, rewarding you in a meaningful way. And saving you time when it really counts. It's feeding the need for a whole new kind of convenience. And it's letting you decide how to pay, long after you've checked out. So if you have PayPal, you have it good.
Okay, so both of them are concept videos. So it's not working right now, but just to give you an inspiration. So really, payments and mobile payments are the key driver and the biggest trend. We are going to have a disruption between offline and online world. One obvious thing, and it's happening, brands do go online. Brands do e-commerce strategies at this moment. There's a lot of innovation around it. And this is both the high brands, top brands, and general popular brands. All of the brands. Each of those brands is looking for its own online strategy, own e-commerce strategy, which is far beyond only website presence. It's all about multi-channel. It's all about reaching the consumer's mobile. So it's happening. And now, the last but not least, when all of those things are happening, we have a lot of problem. A lot of problem because our regulators are trying to change the way we think. They are trying to catch up with the technology. And it's not easy. So we also should listen to what's happening and react and not be just outside of the future. The conclusions are very simple. First of all, whatever company you are, define your strategy, business model, unique selling proposal. Listen to your users, customers, and measure everything, literally every action. And then go with the startup approach of fire, aim, load, and repeat. So first try, do something simple. Now check how it works. Rediscover the product, and again, repeat the same thing. And then by this way you can go to checkout. And the last video I'm going to play to you so you can really understand what it's all about, the simplicity. It's a 2-minute video.
Hey, is that Hanks?
You sure?
Yeah. Username? Nick M?
No.
And then 1983? No. Zamni Pops. Sorry. Zamni Pops?
No, okay, don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever. Please listen carefully to this bread license agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based product for any purposes prohibited by United Kingdom law, including without limitation, design, development, and manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear, or biological weapons. I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse me? Oh, yeah, hey.
Just what, though, sir?
Yeah, we just...
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
It's not even worth
Okay, how about this one?
You know what, forget it.
Well, this one?
Hippo Potter Nice.
You're in.
Great, I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
That's express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's, Standard. Standard delivery, that's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what? I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, okay. You want the take-home today price? That's £3.27.
You know what? I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
You don't want this to happen to your consumers, obviously. Thanks a lot.